Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
What up, Playboy?
My guy, what's the word, baby?
We at it again?
Better believe it.
Back at it again.
Still breathing, baby.
Yes, sir.
As long as we breathing, we getting to it.
Yes, sir. Another day in paradise, baby.
You better believe it, my man.
Another day in paradise.
I see that you
Bro, went to New York for the weekend.
I see it.
Came back on my Arizona shit.
I see you came back in full New York swag.
You already know.
You know what I mean? Came back with
Lucky we ain't got the New York pizza sitting on here on the table too. That
yo,
shit just might be it.
Yo, listen, I be greasy right now. I ain't even gonna hold you. I be real greasy right now if that was the vibes. You dig what I'm saying? But I knew something that was about you. You came back a little extra fresh, a little trimmed up, and it was that New York cut.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I'm saying? I knew what time it was. My man went on a little vacation for a little minute. You know what I mean? Stepped out one time.
My boy from up north did his thing, like always.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But as you guys know around here, we need favors from you, and which that is hit that subscribe button. It's about, I think it's said about 85% of you guys are not subscribed. You're watching, and I appreciate that. We appreciate it, but you're not hitting that subscribe button. For whatever reason, let me tell you something. It's digital currency, and it costs you nothing, but it pays us greatly, and it helps us out with the algorithm. So do us a great favor. Hit that subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. Please help us with that.
We need it.
We need it.
But as always around here, man, before we get started, before we get into the conversation, because we do have a lot to get into, we got the things that we must take care of, and that is talk to the Father upstairs, because we are the imperfect ones, but we do answer to the perfect Father. And with that being said, gracious and eternal Father, thank you for another opportunity to be back before your people. Thank you for opportunity to be back in front of this microphone. We love what we do. We appreciate having an opportunity to do what we do, and we're thankful. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate each and every listener, God. We thank you for how you're walking and moving in our lives, and we thank you for what you're doing in their lives. Right now, God, we actually look over us as we go through these airways, and we say what we must say to be a vessel of inspiration, encouragement to people that need it the most, God. We actually right now look over us as we go across the airways, that we may be the vessels that you call us to be. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Bro, so
talk to me, Playboy.
What's been up, man? What, like you had a little step out to NY, so I'm a little excited to hear about.
Went to see the family, spent some time with my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nephews.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and my cousins also went out to a concert out there for my man Lápiz Consciente.
Hold on, Lápiz Consciente.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that right.
Conscious pencil.
That's
the way to
conscious
translate
pencil.
it.
Ooh, okay.
The conscious
I ain't
pencil.
Mad. I ain't mad at that.
That's it. And he's the father of Spanish hip hop in Dominican Republic.
That's dope.
And the concert was fire. Full house. He tore it down. So big ups to my man.
Yo, shout out, man. Shout out. We definitely appreciate that, man. Like, and you know me, like I'm into different cultures and different things, especially music, bro. So like I might not be able to understand what's being said, but when the vibe is right, the music hitting right, the bass line is kicking, man, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? So like I definitely can't wait to check out some of the sounds. So I know, definitely. And I was seeing on the Instagram that you was turned up a little bit.
Bruh, it was lit. It was lit.
And I'm gonna give the people a little behind the scenes. So like, shout out to his wife, bro. Like, I know we be giving her like hell sometimes, and we be giving her like shout outs and all that, but I want to give her a real time shout out, because when he first told me initially he was on the trip, I was like, oh, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And as a father, as a husband, I thought to myself, like, all right, so when I asked about how the trip was, he told me, and I was like, all right, so how did the kids enjoy it? How'd the wife? And he was like, nah, I went dolo. I went by myself. And I was like, congratulations, bro. Like, That's major, because, and it's not that way in a lot of relationships, bro, where a husband or even the wife can go somewhere, operate in their own person and be who they are, and then come back to a peaceful space.
Yeah.
So shout out to Nene for that, because that's a blessing that you got to count.
That's something that comes with a lot of maturity.
Yeah.
A lot of conversations.
Absolutely.
Communication is key. And yeah, everybody has some sort of jealousy in them. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, of course.
All relationships will have will have some jealousy behind it, but it's all about that what you embed in your relationship and how you earn that trust.
Facts. How you earn that trust.
Keyword earn.
Yes.
Because in many relationships, it's taken as if respect needs to be given and not earned, and that's not how it works. It's about earning earning that respect, and to earn that respect, it comes with love, comprehension, communication, key above all, but always placing God in front of your relationship, so that He is the instrument of guidance for your relationship.
Absolutely, man. Like, when we talking right now, we talk from a space of you 20 years in, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking from a space of like 15 years in.
Yeah.
No, I'm working on 16 as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we're going on 20.
Excuse me. And you're listening to men who have been through some shit in that 20.
That's a fact.
In this 16, we've seen some horrid times. Yo, we was on the verge of not being together multiple times. Like, it was multiple times where we just didn't see eye to eye, and we didn't know if we was gonna make it through the situation or not. So I don't ever want nobody to think that I'm sitting in this space or in this chair or behind this microphone and I'm just speaking from the hip, right? I'm just shooting off at the mouth without no substance. Nah, I have real equity in this relationship. There's real tears. There's real heartfelt situations and circumstances that we've been through, we've grown through. So when we sit here, it's because we're speaking from a place of, yo, if you're struggling, you can get through. Like, if you want to get through. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what a lot of us are starting to get a little sideways with our thought process about what we need to do in our lives. Like, oh, well, if it's for the kids, I'm just going to stay and deal with the disrespect, or I'm just going to deal with whatever comes. How? And on any part. I'm not just saying as a man right now. Because if a woman's in a situation too, like, no, you don't have to put up with it because of circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Or because finances or whatever the material need is. That can't be the reason. So I'm going on a tangent right now, and I felt that deep right now, but we wasn't supposed to be going down that road.
Tell them how you feel it. Tell them how you feel it.
Work to my mother, son. Work to my mother, son.
Oh, man. I remember, bro, the first time that Nene invited me over to her house, when we were just dating.
Yeah.
And me arriving to the house, before I got there, I was nervous as shit. What am I gonna wear? How am I gonna look? I gotta look representable the first time.
Right.
Is the time that sits, and I'm out here in the little cashmere vests and whatnot, and looking sharp as hell. Get up there, and once I'm sitting in the living room, and her father wasn't there yet. Her father was downstairs. And when he comes up, I hear the key. I hear her say, "Oh, that's daddy." So I start getting nervous. And all of a sudden, I hear him open the door. And when he opens the door, the first thing that comes out his mouth is, "J-Lo, where's my J-Lo?" Calling the mother. I said, "Oh, shit, I'm in the right house."
Yeah.
I'm in the right house.
Yes, indeed.
I'm in the right house. And I kid you not, bro, when I saw the type of relationship that they had and how they nurtured their kids, right? Their daughters, because they only had 2 girls. And how attentive they were to their family. I said, well, I don't see myself going anywhere as long as we're able to maintain the communication and maintain that trust. Absolutely. And what we're building. And truthfully, bro, that's been the key. That's been the key. We're fucking human. We
Facts.
all fuck up. Yeah. We all fuck up.
It's
part of life.
Imperfect fathers.
But it's
fuck ups.
when you embed in your children the fight.
Yes. Facts.
To not give up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's instilled forever. So when something is worth it, the fight will persist, because if you think about it, how many marriages out there were arranged? Right?
Right.
It happens a lot in third world countries and
regularly.
And they might not be, some of them might not be happy, but a lot of times you see how they prevail.
Right.
You see how they prevail, how at the end of the day, it wasn't that much about that love at the beginning. But I've seen interviews on people that were arranged marriages, and what do you love about your husband? And she'll say how he respects me, how he loves me.
It developed.
And they'll ask, what do you love about your wife? How she cares for me, how she's always there, how she nurtures. You see what I'm, so it ends up becoming more than just a relationship that you had right there at that point where it was at the beginning is lust and love, right?
Right. It's what you see in front of you. Right. It's what you see in front of you. But then you start seeing the heart. Right.
You don't start hearing the heart. You start seeing the heart.
And you see it in actions.
Yes.
And this is why time is so important when it's come down to understanding who the person is. Only time can really tell.
Only time can really tell.
Bro, like, people dragged me earlier because first of all, when I came out on the internet and all that, and they found out like I'm married and all that, how long it took me to marry my wife, I get kicked back all the time. 8 years before I married my wife. People were like, "Oh my God, why?" I needed to see her in every circumstance. I needed to see her in each season, multiple times, because you can go through one season and have one behavior. You can go through another season twice and have. But it's hard for a person, it's almost impossible for a person to do it multiple times year after year. That's really not who you are.
Yep. You start really knowing the person once you start laying with that person. Once you start living within the same household, within the four walls, that you get to the point that you're like, fuck, am I really doing this? I'm gonna kill this person. But then that's when the actual maturing starts kicking in.
Yes.
Because that's when you start saying, you know what, I might be fucking up at X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. What is it that I need to do better? And most of the time, us as men, we need to understand that our strength is physical.
Yes.
Right? The woman's strength is vocal.
Thank you very much for pointing that out, bro.
The woman's strength is vocal. So we need to be able to step back and say, yeah, she's screaming at me in my face, but if I swing at her, I'm going to hurt her. So I need to back up, and I need to be the man in the position to say, you know what, honey, please don't speak to me in that manner. If you do, once again, I'm going to walk out this door because I'm not going to tolerate this. And if it keeps going, we need to understand, look, all she has is the strength of her voice. Let her lash it out. Just walk out.
That's it.
Because when you come back, you two will be able to have a conversation.
Hold your nuts, fellas. So I'm so glad you pointed that out, because I don't think really men understand that. A woman's only defense is her mouth. And I'm about to hurt a lot of men's feelings, especially the ones who are struggling with women that they knew they shouldn't have made theirs in the first place.
You saw the red flags and you still decided to. So you know what? It's on you, buddy.
It's all over you. Now, you thought to yourself that when she called you out your name or she talked sideways to you in the beginning, it was cute. She's sassy. She got attitude. In that early phase of your life, you needed that rah-rah. You needed that right, that she gave you. And you thought to yourself, I got me a bad joint. She got some sass to her. I need something a little spice in my life.
It's feisty.
Right.
Mine can get it popping.
So she toxic. That means, because the kids like that now. Like, oh, she toxic. So you know what that means? That she got that gawk. Or she got that fire, that wop, right?
Little do you know.
But guess what? Everything that will make you come will make you cry at some point.
That's a fact.
You sit here and think that her mouth talking to you sideways in the beginning is cute. Calling you out your name, talking to you sideways in front of her homegirl. That's just how she is. You brush it off. But down the road, you wondering why you frustrated by the way she's talking to you. You can't figure it out. Because in the early stages, you'd okayed it. You didn't stop it. You didn't nip it in the bud. You was okay with it because...
And it's not stopping it physically.
No.
Comprehend that. It's not stopping it physically.
No. By no means. Because physicality does nothing.
It's not getting loud.
No.
It's about holding your place and demanding respect in a respectful manner.
And standing on business on your word. Yes. So if you say, and this is one thing that I tell even my wife and my daughter, please don't make me keep my word. Especially when it comes down to discipline towards my daughter. I'm not disciplining my wife. Don't get that twisted. When it comes down to discipline my daughter, my thing is, don't make me keep my word. Because I'm going to have to show you. because I said it now. But see, we as men, we don't want to really hold our nuts when it comes down to it, because a lot of times it puts us in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like, we have to go out and leave the house, right?
Yeah.
We got to leave comfort, because when you're being talked to crazy and you really don't have anything else other than your physicality, because most men don't have the ability to articulate their emotions and talk when they're frustrated. We don't have that capacity at most points. So what a woman can do, she can go off and on and on and on and on. Meanwhile, we just
hit those buttons.
Woo!
Hit the real buttons.
It's the only one that they can push.
The ones that they know about, right?
Because only they know about.
Yep, only they know about.
Because no one else can. Even if they didn't know the buttons, they didn't have the ability to push them.
Because you just rub it off and keep pushing.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Nobody else would be able to do that.
But they know.
Yep.
So what you have to do is, if you say, "I'm going to walk out that door," if you talk to me crazy, stand on business once she speaks to you crazy again. It can't be, an empty threat. Shout out to Corona for the burps. It can't be an empty threat, bro. It can't be just, well, all right, well, whatever, and sit there and play your game or get back on the phone with your homeboy or whatever it is that you do. It can't be that, because guess what? It will be that for the rest of your time until you pop. Until you absolutely blows it.
And you cannot, you can't do it on a base of disrespect.
No.
You can't. You have to maintain your composure. You have to be respectful, because at the minute that you become disrespectful, you lost.
Yeah.
You lost. Why did you lose? Even at the moment you become physical, you lost. Why did you lose? Because now she has a reason.
And let me tell you
now
something.
There's a reason. Now, I'm not going to say she, because this goes both ways.
Right.
Now there's a reason for the disrespect to continue. So now, my mother used to tell me when I was young, you think that when you raise your voice at me and I don't talk back to you, is because I'm afraid of you?
No, you should be worried.
No, ninja. No, ninja. It's not that I'm afraid of you. It's that one of us needs to be an adult.
Right. And I'm the oldest one right now, so I'm gonna take that role.
I ain't afraid of you. Nah, I will murder you
easily.
But one of us needs to be an adult. So I'm gonna walk away, and I'll come back to you once you've calmed down.
Correct.
When you implement that in your relationship, whether it's a woman or a man, and you say, "Please do not speak to me in that manner." If you do so once again, I'm gonna walk out that door, and we can figure it out later. But I'm not going to allow you to do that. Once that tone rises again, if you don't walk out that door, that's going to happen every single time.
You're setting the precedent right there.
Every single time.
You're setting the precedent.
If you do stay there and you start arguing, she got loud, then you get loud, then she gets loud, then you get louder, then what are you showing your kids? What are you showing your kids?
Yeah.
We're just creating the same cycles that the system has told us that's what we're worth.
Right. And we don't know how to deal with conflict regularly. This is what we're teaching our children. If we don't know how to separate because we're too hot, we're teaching our children that we don't know how to deal with conflict, and they're not going to know how to deal with it. And honestly, if you think about the behavior itself, first of all, as a man, you should not be arguing with your woman.
Shouldn't be arguing, period, bro.
Like, if it really gets boiled down, there is no arguments that should be going on between you and woman. And I'm not saying this on this almighty pedestal or on this authoritative level. No. I'm speaking from a space of understanding who and what I am and what I stand for. There is no argument between me and my wife. If you ask my wife, and I'm saying this on camera, we have had less than 2 handfuls of arguments in 16 years. I can't even count them on. I can count them on one hand, and maybe like this amount, maybe like 8.
Amen to that.
And in those, it was simply, all right, you stay over there. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna leave. I'll be back. And every single time we've come back to understanding, I don't hate you. You don't hate me. I actually love you. You actually love me. We didn't see eye to eye on whatever that may have been. But that itself is not worth our love.
Agreeing to disagreeing.
Period. It's a win.
Yep.
Because and this is another thing. Where do we get this thought process of once we get our woman or we get with our significant other that even their thought process is ours?
Nah.
Yo, what is that about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It baffles me because it's like you think just because you got with this person now they don't have a interest outside of you. They don't have a thought process outside of you and this
Man,
whole.
this isn't an attack towards you. This is both ways. This goes both ways.
Yo.
We're gonna have to bring a woman source one day, a woman guest,
absolutely,
so that this debate could be a little.
But you know what's and the reason
because us saying it truthfully, men are gonna always think that we're attacking them, and in reality, we're talking about relationships.
And my thing is this, Jose: if they feel attacked, bro,
then there's something deep in there that you need to be looking at.
You should be attacked.
Yeah,
because it's like I always say, I'm not talking out of malice. I'm not coming at anyone, and everything that I speak about is I speak from a space of where I help men on. Yo, that's my living, bro. Like this is what I do for. I speak to men. To the point where it's sickening some days. Can I be honest with y'all guys for a second? Can I be real?
Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
The helper gets tired of helping at points and times. The weight that I deal with of conversations, understanding someone else's livelihood and their circumstances, situations, and what's going on in their life, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, their next steps. Yeah, I help with that. I do that on a day-to-day basis. So I don't get on this mic as a dude that's going to be sitting here coming at somebody. Because shit, I need help myself. You feel what I'm saying? But when I come here and I speak from a place of, bro, I want us to be better.
Yeah.
I just want that. And what hurts me the most is that we're more committed to our excuses than we are our success, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're committed to our excuses. Yo,
definitely
and I love everyone that I talk to today. And when this is airs, and the guys who know me and that talk to me today, and you know I'm talking about you, know I love you, bro. I wouldn't talk to you the way I talk to you if I didn't. But I'm not about to sit around and let nobody, bro, you, me, no one else around us not be better. I'm not. Because it's not going to affect anyone else other than us in the long run anyway.
Yes.
Like the pressure of life, man, we signed up for it when we got our nuts at birth. Let's just be real. When God gave you your nuts, and he gave you the qualifications to be a man. When he gave you that qualification, and I said testicles and nuts for a reason. I know. You signed up that day. And then when you decide that you were going to transfer over from boyhood to manhood and then create a family, you signed up for it too then.
Yeah.
So whatever came with that, and hear me good, because I know what comes with it. So don't get me wrong. I know the good, the bad, and the indifferent, and the well. So I'm taking this as a collective. You signed up for it. Good, bad, or indifferent. So being that we signed up for it, we got to strive for better. And we got to be better. And nothing that we're in right now should be stopping us from at least striving to do that.
Yeah.
We can't sit down and rest on our laurels, bro. Our people need us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right, bro.
And like, I'm all about, like we said before a few episodes ago, I'm all about mental health and wellness. But I'm also about putting my knees to the work. Like getting my hands dirty. I'm all about out here building, bro. Building myself, building my mentality, building a legacy. Because at the end of the day, guess what's going to happen, bro? We're going to die at some point.
Yeah. The only thing that's for sure.
Bro, you ready for this? This past week again, more death. So I got a call. A girl I used to mess with. Rest in peace. She passed away on an overdose.
Didn't we speak about this not too long ago about how once you get to maturity, you start seeing more deaths than you see births?
The 2 episodes ago, I think we said that. bro. And it's a constant reminder now for me. I've taken it as I don't have time to play.
You know what's funny, bro? That we're mentioning this just earlier today. I was watching PBD podcast.
Yes,
I love his podcast, bro.
Yo, we got he's right here.
Pat. Shout outs to Pat for real.
Yo, Pat, we gonna come out and holler at you, man. You right down the block from us. I ain't gonna say too much because I know that we close, but we go holler at you.
He had a episode with Suge Knight just recently.
Shout out.
That shit was crazy.
It wasn't. Yo, he's smooth to get the interview. That's an exclusive.
That was crazy.
Facts.
And he was mentioning something about deaths and whatnot. And I had said to my wife, baby, you know what? We're at that age that we need to start investigating about lots and where we're gonna be buried one day, because it can happen.
Yeah.
We're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
And we can't leave this to our kids to be the ones to handle it.
Right. It's a scary reality, bro.
It is a scary reality, and it's one that everybody needs to face at some point.
Facts.
Everybody needs to face at some point. And once you get into that state of mind, into that age, that you start saying, you know what, this can happen. This is going to happen. Not can happen. This is going to happen. Then you need to prepare. You need to leave everything prepared so that your kids are not carrying your burden.
Facts. They're not carrying the cross that you're supposed to have buried and laid down. Facts, bro.
I was talking to her. I mentioned that earlier, and she looked at me crazy, like, "What the fuck you talking about, bro? Like, bro, we only in our 40s. What are you saying? We're in our early 40s. What are you saying?"
She's like, "Yo, Jose, where's your mind
this
at?
Going?
What was you thinking about?
Where's this going?" I'm like, no, it's the I'm always looking far beyond. I'm always looking up front, because I'm not one that likes surprises. Surprises will come, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm one that's very analytical, because I want to be able to know where it is that I'm going,
right?
Where it is that I'm gonna stand. And we were talking about this earlier, about how the ages of 35 to 45 are the most darkest ages, especially 35 to 40, because that's when you start analyzing and saying, fuck, I was supposed to be further than this.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have more. I was supposed to have done more. I was supposed to have achieved more. And so me being the person that I am, I saw myself in that place when I hit my 30s. Because in my mind,
you're supposed to be like so
I was going to be
right.
Woof. And don't get me wrong, I've done from my young age, I've done a lot.
Yes.
And I've been in a lot of places, and I've achieved a lot.
Yes.
Like I consider myself to be a successful person in at my age, right? Because I know that I've experienced and lived things that many way older than I, or older than I, have not been able to, right? As a DJ, I was out on tour. I've toured with plenty of Dominican artists that are of name. I've done so much. I've tried just about everything. I've been in almost all sorts of businesses.
Right.
I've had 5 to 6 businesses. Probably not as successful as I would want them to be, but they taught experience.
Right. And
they guided me to where I'm at today. Right. So all of that plays a factor. And me being that person of that vision, I saw myself in that dark place during those ages. But now I'm in a place where my mind is just like, well, we need to set ourselves up, because one day these kids are going to leave the nest. And we need to be ready for when that comes, because that's going to start a new stage in life. And what are we going to do at that point? Right?
The next stage is, oof. And like I told you, your life for me is a reality that I'm walking into. So when I see your kids and I hear their interactions, it's like, oh, I know this is what I'm headed for.
Yeah.
Because I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see it in my son and my daughter already. And like even like I said before I came over here, like she told my wife this today, was like, that's not the attitude I like. I was like, it threw me for a second, because at this point, I'm expecting, from where I'm from, to hear pop, boom, boom, You know what I mean? Like, shout out to you, Sharon. Like, I'm expecting the fireworks. But I didn't hear anything. So I realized, like, all right, well, this is where I'm supposed to show up. And let me remind you, you don't have a choice of attitude when it comes to your mother.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
Like, you don't have a choice.
I told you the other day, didn't I tell you what Junior pushed on me the other day?
Yo,
bro,
please,
you gotta
bring this to the front. You gotta bring this to the front.
So,
this is hilarious, y'all. I'm gonna take another sip on this one. Go ahead, my nigga.
So Junior said some crazy shit out his mouth, and I'm driving. So from the front of the car, pop him, pop right in the mouth. He's in the back seat, so I extend out, pop him in the mouth.
Nice one.
Now he's mad. He's upset. So we get to the house. I come in the room, in the office. I'm here in the office. I'm doing some work. My phone rings. It's him. I'm like,
now, mind you, he's in the office and his room is like
right across.
Right, literally right across the hall.
So my phone rings and it's him.
Smart kid though. He calling.
And he says, "Bah, I'm sorry for acting the way I was acting, but if you hit me in the mouth, and if you hit me in my mouth like that again, I don't know how I'm gonna react." I looked at my phone.
Yo,
I could not believe what the hell was coming out this phone. I looked at my phone and I said, "Boy, I'm about to hang up this phone right now, and I'm gonna let you think about what you're saying." I hung up the phone. And I went into my room just to laugh because I couldn't believe what I just heard. So I tell my wife, "Baby, you want to know what your son just told me?"
Wow. You want to hear this wild shit? you want to hear this wild shit? What?
But then again, I can't even get that mad, right? Because the apple don't fall far from the tree, right?
It's the spirit, bro.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yo, when he told me this, y'all, I'm talking about, he almost floored me with that one. Like, when
that was crazy.
Like, he literally almost brought me to my, like, to the floor because I just couldn't even believe that.
And you
that
know
was
what's
his
crazy?
comeback.
That when you hear other people say that, you say, "Oh, I will murder my son." Bro, you got to be in a situation to actually
Bro, because murder wasn't the first thought.
Bro, I was like, I couldn't hold I didn't want to laugh here because I know he would have heard me.
And he would have took that as he's dad playing. Like, I could take that. Nah.
I had to go into my bedroom and burst laughing because I couldn't hold it no more. Like, this little man told me,
"Yo,
if you pop me in my mouth again, I don't know how I'm going to react." Mind you, I already told him that when he hits 14, I got a set of gloves. We're going to duke it out.
Yo, listen.
Teach him how to be a man real quick.
Yo, listen. Real rap. That the crazy part about that is like you said, you can't get angry.
You can't.
Because it's your spirit.
Yes.
You got to realize, like, yo, he's not like that.
You know what's the hardest part of parenting?
It's you.
Parenting the you out of your child.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of parenting.
Yo, every bad habit you don't like about yourself, your child has exhibits.
Has it
every day.
Tenfold.
And it shows it every day.
Tenfold.
Every habit you hate about yourself. Yes.
I've caught him doing things that I used to say to myself, like, I hate when I fucking do this. And he does it.
Yo, even down to something like snot. Like, I used to be like, you know, most boys be like, now my little nigga be like, "Dad." I be like,
Yo, Junior bites his nails to the point that he
bleeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there too. That's anxiety.
Bro.
And let me tell you, bro, because this conversation right here is literally what, like, I was like, I think about this all the time, especially with the kids. Yo, our kids are us, but a mixture of our counterpart. So whenever I'm looking at my daughter do something or a behavior that I can't understand where it comes from, I look at my wife and then I begin to ask her, "Yo, who in your family has this behavior?" Because this is where it comes from. Like, because a lot of the traits, I'm like, wait a minute. Whose behavior is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it becomes a a fun project because you like, yo, that's my brother. Like that, my son like has like tendencies like that came from my brother. Like you have a habit like your uncle. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy you say that, bro. My daughter and my eldest godson, my brother's eldest, are twins, and my son and my brother's youngest are twins. I mean, down from the character to the way they to their everything, to the bad habits, to the good habits, everything. They're twins
to the T.
Twins.
Yo,
crazy.
And like we have to learn to discipline ourselves first.
Bro, that is the hardest.
So because it's like, and this is what I've learned. So being that we already established that our children exude all of our bad habits.
Yep.
We can't expect them not to have it if we're not working on the things that they came from.
Yep.
Right? Because they came from the loins of bad habits.
Yep.
Right? So what they exude and what they are is potentially what we need to be working on ourselves and showing them better at. Because let me tell y'all something. Today, my daughter put me in a high drive. No, Saturday. So she kept telling me, Daddy, I want to work out. I looked to myself, well, work out? Okay. Jump around the house, play around, we get a workout in. But she's been on this eat healthy and live right. Because, schools, they're pushing right now. So I'm grateful for that. So I brushed her off. Baby, I'm tired. I'm sitting on the couch and watch TV. Her attitude was, well, whether you do it or not, I'm going to get down here and get this workout in. And it threw me for a loop because at first I watched TV, wasn't paying attention. I just looked over at her. And then I looked over at her after looking down at my stomach. I was like, oh, shit.
You trying to say something, bro?
No, yo, listen. Hey, what I said about the people at home, if you feel attacked.
My shirt ain't even that tight today, bro.
Here you go with the bullshit.
Nah, because you be throwing jabs, bro. You think you a boxer.
Yo, listen, man. Listen. Hey, like I told the people, if you felt some kind of way, you should have felt attacked there, baby. Like, because at the end of the day, like, if we don't change how we look at even food, bro, for ourselves as the fathers and leaders, they're not.
Yep.
They're not, bro. Like, and like, I did a water fast, y'all. I'm gonna be transparent. I gave myself my first 24 hours to do a water fast, and I ain't gonna lie to you. The level of enlightenment I felt the next day was powerful. I felt brand new. Like on a molecular level, I guess I can talk. I say I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that. They said that my cells renewed. I felt brand new, and I felt like I had so much more energy. And then the next day, after going back to my same habits, I woke up this morning on Monday like, ugh.
Groggy.
And my brain, I wasn't as sharp. I wasn't as quick and focused. So I realized, I'm like, oh, that's the thing. Our energy levels, especially us at 40 plus right now, like you was talking about earlier about getting so many things done in a day, and we need more hours. It's not, we just need more energy.
Just need more energy.
Because no one else has more hours.
And this all falls down into one of the biggest mistakes that we make as humans is that we look at food as something pleasurable.
Yes.
As a pleasure.
Yeah.
And we can't. You need to look at food as a medicine.
Yes.
Because it's the medicine for your body.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? You can't look at it as, once you start looking at it as pleasure, that's when you become, as pleasurable, that's when you start becoming picky. I don't eat this. I don't like that. It's broccoli.
You're right.
Right? Because
disregarding the nutritional value that it actually possesses for you.
Medicine is disgusting.
Oof. And when you have to take it, you're in a position where
even worse.
It's
brother,
bad,
my mother makes a homemade cough medicine with freaking honey, onions, garlic, a whole bunch of stuff, bro. And when you take one spoonful and you feel like you're gonna throw up your whole body. Yeah. But you know what? Next day you got nothing, no cold. No cold, no cough, no nothing. Everything.
Gone.
Everything. So that's where it comes into. Yeah. Once you start looking at food in that manner, this is disgusting, but you know what? I gotta eat it.
Yeah.
I gotta stop eating these chips and eating these candies and eating these. Look at me drinking a fucking Arizona.
Yeah. No. But see, this came about because of what we had to endure. So a lot of us, and especially in our cultures as the Dominicans and the black culture, we ate because that's the only thing we can control.
Yeah.
Right? And then the foods we ate helped us deal with situations that we were going through. This is why most of our women, our older grandmothers and aunts and sisters and mothers and all of them, they were obese, they were overweight, because the only thing they could control is what they put in their mouth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this from a space of, oh, no empathy and no sympathy. Nah, we just got to do better, because they know that if they keep messing our guts up, we can never use our mind correctly. They know that.
Yeah. And you know, that's crazy that you're saying that, because you go to Dominican Republic and you don't really see that many obese people, bro.
Because there's no fast foods like that out there.
Really, they're starting now to go.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But it's not. Yeah, everything was natural. You go 90% of the country is mountains, bro. 90%.
From what I've learned about your culture, from me being here in the States, from every Dominican, especially older woman, it's disrespectful to bring fast food into the home.
Not at dinner time or lunch. Yeah.
And if you ate that before you got there, you in trouble.
You got a problem.
Right. You gonna have to eat.
A problem. You're gonna have to eat twice now.
Word.
Now you're gonna be stuffed to your throat.
Yeah. and that right there in itself is
because once that plate is served, you better eat it. Yeah. Every grain.
Yeah.
Leave that plate clean.
Listen.
And no game.
It's because of what what took for them to get that food.
Yep.
And this is what happens. Like, we didn't consider why we're being told these things and the reason we're being made to eat and all these things. And now as adults, we realize, oh, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is why it's important for us because the gap between our generation and our mothers and our fathers is communication. Mm-hmm. They didn't tell us the why.
They didn't tell us the why.
They took why from us.
Yep.
Because why was deemed disrespectful back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, and let me say that right now. Fellas, if you're struggling with standing up for yourself, asking why, being assertive, it's because at some point in your life, you were taken, that your why was taken from you. It was deemed disrespectful in your home. If you was to say why, you probably would lose your teeth. Put it like this. You know I'm talking to you right now. If you feel triggered anyway when you think about asking your mother or your parents why, anything. I know I just triggered a whole bunch of y'all out there. But the truth of the matter is, that's where your problem lies. That's where your healing must begin. Yeah. Because the question why is not disrespectful. And the only reason they felt that way, and sadly, is because they didn't have the answers. Yep. And it made them feel dumb.
They knew that they were doing it because that's what they were taught.
And that's
but
all they had.
They themselves didn't know why.
It was force of habit.
They themselves didn't know why. And my mother and I have grown such a great relationship when it comes to that.
Yes.
Because I'm able to actually sit down and tell my mother, Ma, I don't think this is good for you because of X, Y, and Z. And off of that, she's learned, well, you know, most of the times when she says something, she'll say, well, yeah, I spoke to my son about this, and, you know, he studies the crap out of anything that he tells me, so he's not going to tell me something out of... You get what I'm... So it's
She respects your
handle. So it's a different type of respect, right? Like when I was a kid, it was, you're going to do what I'm saying.
Right.
No explanation.
Right.
But now, being adults, we have these conversations where you get that respect that you so yearned when you were a child, right?
Right. You wanted that.
You wanted that when you were a kid,
and being able to say, "Oh, my thoughts process is being respected. I'm being heard."
Exactly, and I try to implement that with my kids, where even if I tell you got to do X, Y, and Z because I say so, I'll grab them a little bit later and say, "Hey, look, the reason I said it was because of this, and that,"
right? So
that they don't think. At the time I'm upset and I'm telling you, you're gonna do it because I said so. Right. But I don't want it to be embedded in them that they can't get an explanation as to why they were told so. But not at the moment that we're hot, right?
And that's you're also teaching them a valuable lesson that we overlook these days. There's a time and place for everything, bro.
Yes.
And in a moment of which I'm giving you a direction is not the time to question why I'm giving you this direction.
Get it done, and then you can come back and say, "Yo, Pops, why did you ask me to do this? Because I don't understand why."
But that goes with everything. Even my wife in the home, like in circumstances where it's dangerous or what have you. Mm-hmm. I've taught my wife, and we had situations where I had to show her, it's that moment I'm telling you to leave a room or get lost or go is not the time to say, why, babe? What's going on? I've already calculated, I've already seen something else that's going to transpire. What I need you to do is just follow directions. And I will give you what? The respect later of telling you, yo, this is why I did X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
But we're so caught up in the disrespect. I'm being disrespected. If you don't communicate before the situation happens, they're gonna operate in their default.
I told you I'm gonna put it right here. Ego and humility cannot coexist.
You gotta stretch it. You gotta stretch it right there. You gotta stretch it right there, bro. Yo, because like and like this conversation we had right now, it really ties into everything about honestly just respecting each and every person, from your spouse to your child. It's because I think that we look a lot of times, especially at our children, as if they're not people.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm in a stage where my kids are going from that child phase where you're just being telling them what to do all the time to where they're now having a mind of their own. And I'm seeing it like, oh, I was messing up because all this time I was talking to you as if though you was just a baby. Like you're like, and when I say baby, as we look at babies as if though they're not little people with thought processes, you know what I'm saying? Like mental capacity, feelings and emotions and all the things that we have right now.
They grow in front of our faces so fast that by the time you do realize that they're people that they're little people that do understand, it's a reality shock at that point.
Yeah. It's a reality check.
It's a reality check at that point because you don't notice it. Yeah. You become accustomed to telling them what they need to do because you're trying to keep them within the path of being safe, that they don't get hurt, that they don't bump their head on the table, that they don't fall and trip, that they don't break a leg. Right? That by the time you notice, they're already 8, 9, 10, and you're like, holy crap.
You know how to do this already.
I need to rephrase how I talk to you now because now it's a different stage in life. Right.
My son is like, yeah, Daddy, I don't need you to do that for me. Oh, snap. You're old enough to open your own water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Little small stuff that they have gained their independence in. I have to respect that now. Yeah. And that goes of what I want to talk about tonight is the respect for the position and place of everyone in the home. See, we do a great job of talking about our positions as husbands. And as you guys have known, I'm doing a series called Upon This Rock, where I'm taking husbands and fathers and I'm really sitting down and we're diving deep into our positions and our roles and positions in our homes. But one thing I've learned that the issue is between men and women, because I think that it's been a major division going on between men and women over the last, like, I'm going to say 10 years that I've been just seeing in the social media realm that I've been paying attention to, should I say. And it's been really thick and I've been really questioning, like, what is the disconnect? And today I think I really gotten a grip of what might be the issue. And that is that we don't respect the other person's position or what they do throughout the day. Meaning, we think what we're doing is way more valuable or way more strenuous than what our partner is doing. So I could paint a little picture for you right quick. So for the men who go, let's keep it traditional for a second. For the men who go out there and make money, right? They come back and they complain because the woman is not doing enough at home. What she's doing is not enough because they're dealing with hell all day long. They go into a boss that they can't stand, management they can't stand. They're being crucified. They're being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They're frustrated. Guarantee you that's most men, and that's we signed up for. Nobody is taking that off of us, right? That's what we signed up for. But then we go home with all that was on us. We disregard what went on all day in the home because we didn't consider that.
Yeah.
But you're looking at an individual who played both sides of the world when it comes down to that. So the first 3-4 years of both my kids' lives, I was home. I worked overnights. So during the day, I didn't sleep. Newborns. I'm up. I'm active. I'm part of it. So I know what it takes on a day-to-day basis to keep a house going with children. But I also know what goes on outside in the street.
Yeah.
So if you don't respect the other person's duty or due diligence throughout the day, it's easy for you to say, oh, you're not doing enough. Now, don't get triggered, men, because I'm going to address the opposite side of that. For the women who simply say what you're not doing is not enough. She doesn't consider the commute you got to take, the way you risk your life on the road. She's not considering the thing that you have to do to provide. How most of the time, most men have to swallow their pride to get money.
Type of people you got to deal with out there.
On a day-to-day basis.
Day-to-day basis.
To provide. Like, you're not just doing it. You're not swallowing your pride. You're not eating your ego. You're not putting it aside for no other reason but to provide. And this is what you have to do to provide, right? And then it's not enough. She's not taking those into consideration because she's at home doing a hard-ass job. But to her, that hasn't seen you out there, she don't know what you go through. So you have a situation where neither one of you respect each other's position or what they go through because you're not communicating. And one person simply hasn't lived it. And I can speak from this because I sat home. I taken care of to the point where I would bring my wife on this podcast and she'll vouch and validate. It was to a point where my son had to be given back to her because he didn't want to go to her because all he knew was me during the day. Like, all day long. To the point where it was some days, Jose, and I'm going to be honest, I was crying in front of my children because I was tired. I was overwhelmed. But guess what? Now, I have an utmost respect for any woman or any man that's raising children, that's in the home 24/7. Because you know what I wanted to do most days, Jose?
What?
I wanted to be around an adult. My wife would come home from work, and I would just throw up on her. Because I'm talking to children all day long.
Yeah.
And I wanted the outlet of an adult.
Yeah.
So these things have to be considered, and they have to be respected. Your partner is your partner. Like, they're working hard, not just for them, but for you.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you can't hold whatever sacrifices you've made with your future to be able to be in the position that you're in. They're not your significant other's fault.
Wow, Jose.
They're not your significant other's fault.
Wow,
so
that's big.
You need to be able to understand that yourself and know that I need to respect what it is that they're doing because it's not their fault that I didn't achieve my dreams.
Facts. It's not their fault. You chose to do that because you love them.
Yes.
And you have to be okay with that.
And you have to be okay with that.
Because that was a decision.
Once you guys feel established, you can chase your dreams.
Absolutely.
You can always chase your dreams. There's always enough time for that.
Absolutely.
But it has to be based on communication.
Yes.
You can't blame her that you're not doing it and that you haven't communicated that this is your dream.
Right.
They can't guess.
No.
They can't guess what your dream is.
No.
Or what it was that you wanted to achieve that you haven't been able to achieve.
It's not fair to them.
It's not fair to them.
What
type of burden are you putting on them by doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not only are you burdening yourself, but at that point, misery is just seeking company.
Correct. And you're going to find it within your partner.
So
if not, you're going to put it there.
Or if you're going to make it, you're going to make it exist.
Listen, and I think that's a great time to bring up this part of the show that I love dearly.
Oh, boy.
Am I the only one? Yeah, grab your drink, get your sip on. He gets tense every time, and I love it. So, fellas, I'm going back to the beginning of the relationship on this one. I remember when I was like, head over heels, and at the time I'm in the street, so I'm running around like she at work. I'm hustling throughout the day, so I'm like, yo, today I'm gonna surprise her. I'm gonna clean the house from head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I'm guaranteed to get them cheeks. You feel me? I'm guaranteed to get them cheeks tonight. I'm cleaning everything. You feel me? So
okay.
So tighten back up. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm in there, I'm busting the house down to the point where I'm tired, right? So she comes from like 3 and change, almost 4 o'clock. So I find myself dozing off on the couch. But, before I doze off, I took my socks off, rolled them up nice, and laid them on the side, right? So I'm laying on the couch, sleep, house spick and span, kid. I'm talking about
Oh boy.
you could eat off the floor, bro. Like you could
I
eat off
see
the
where
floor.
this is going.
I
He
laid
said the
down
rolled up socks right next
right
to me.
on the floor. She comes in the living room, sees me on the couch. I wake up. Hi, babe. Are you serious? This place, you got socks on the floor? She's going off. Like she is spazzing about stuff that's not even happening right now. She's going off. So I'm like, yo, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I cleaned this whole house. Like, you bugging out about socks? So then I say, dang, babe, like, no credit? I don't get no credit for none of this. Like, she was like, credit for what you're supposed to be doing, and went down that route. Like, oh, well, I don't get credit. So, fellas, what I need to know is, am I the only one who at times goes above and beyond, and then the one thing that you slip up on be the one thing that she be like, oh no, hold up. And like, hold on, don't get it twisted. I'm telling y'all a lot of these things around that time of the month. I gotta say that because y'all gonna be like, yo, why you with her then? You always got all these stories. But I'm doing this for a purpose of relation number one, because I want you fellas to know that you're not the only one that's dealing with nonsense with your girl. And I'm doing that as a comic relief because at the end of the day, fellas, we all dealing with some nonsense. And don't get it twisted. I'm not just saying that for us, because we put our women through some dumb shit on a regular basis. And if we sat them down on microphones,
sheesh.
Yeah.
No, they can't have the microphone. So let us know down below.
Let us know down below if
he's the only one.
I'm the only one.
I don't deal with that. I learned about that a long time ago.
So you dot all your I's and cross all your T's?
Bro, I save receipts. I make sure that if I'm going sweep and clean, she here so she can see me. Smart. Not happening.
Bang, bang. Yo, because I think
that's part of the love language, bro.
Real rap.
If that's what's going to fill up her love tank, I got to do it smoothly.
Listen,
while walking around in Ethicas.
Yo, listen. with the chest on you,
Ethicas, the baby, PSDs with the baby oil.
With the baby oil, you greased up on you, looking real nice. And then, and ladies, like I heard this on a post too, and they was talking about this, that be smart. We're not hard to deal with. We're not hard individuals to get things out of. Like if you want your man to do something for you, just compliment him when he's doing that thing.
Facts.
Like if you want him to sweep the floor, tell him when he's sweeping the floor.
Knew
how easy it was.
How long that damn baby. Thank you.
How far that goes.
What?
Or you look good when you're doing that, daddy.
Bro.
No Diddy. No
Diddy.
Yo, hold on. Because I got to. I wasn't gonna, and I know our platform is about the veteran, but I'm talking about the influence of what we allow as people, bro. So
that's crazy.
Speak to your influence. Speak to your podcast. I referenced earlier about Suge Knight. You sent me the episode and I listened to it. And just listening to Suge and the whole interview as a whole, and understanding what's unfolding behind all of these great black men, right? That we called them great black men. We did. And we put them on these pedestals and we gave them the rights to our influence, right? Because I'm going to be real. Like, I wanted to be Diddy at one point in my life. I wanted to have the hair.
You wanted to take that?
Nah, I didn't. No Diddy. Nah, I ain't want to take nothing. Word. It wasn't me. but just the facade. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the imagery.
Yeah, I completely understand.
And when you realize how much now that was the poison that could have been our demise, you realize and you realize why our parents were so gung-ho on protecting our influence and what we were listening to. Like I remember going back in the day, my mother used to bust my Walkman open. So I'm dating myself right now by saying Walkman right now. All you kids look it up. And she would literally take my tape out and go play it.
Not this man. Walkman. There's a difference.
Wait, disc wasn't even out yet, fam.
There's a difference.
Yeah. I got grays. Check it out. But she literally would take it out and go put the track in the house speaker so she can hear what I'm listening to. And I was like, yo, what you want, girl? Like, I'm not. It's only music, but it's influence. Yeah. And bro, we looked at all these men that were doing these heinous things, and especially Diddy, bro. Like I'm hearing sad things, bro, and I'm seeing sad videos of people that have been connected to him, bro. Like, yo, Usher, Meek Mills, the list goes on. Like, I feel bad for all these men, but in all actuality, too, this may sound crazy. I feel bad for Diddy because, like Shook said in that interview, he wasn't like that to begin with.
He was taught.
Right.
He was taught.
He went in the hands of them old heads, them nasty old heads.
Like Shook said, he sold his soul.
Yeah. And let me tell you something that my old heads used to tell me back in the day, my uncles and my grandfathers and them. A man's soul is in his asshole.
Hey, yo. No Diddy.
No Diddy. But a man, that's your manhood, bro. You can't do
Can't
that.
Give that up.
Right. For no amount of nothing. You can't. Because even let's look at the men who quote unquote have been mentioned, right? Look in their eyes, y'all. Look in their eyes when you watch their videos.
They soulless.
It's scary.
They soulless.
Literally.
Yes. I've said this before plenty of times. They soulless.
Man. And we talk about being soul rich, bro. Like,
Yeah.
That's a scary place to be soulless, bro.
When you look in a man's eyes and you see nothing, that's crazy.
Bro, and I'm heartbroken behind him.
I've met a lot of these people, bro.
Yeah, in real time.
Because I worked in the industry for a while. And bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Bro, like I seen a video just the other day with Justin Bieber and Odell Beckham in the club. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was viral. Yo. I don't know if it was a deep fake or what it was or what the hell it is, but that was crazy.
And then you got Trey Songz on Lookout. Like, what we doing? Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, we can't allow someone's talent to be our influence. Just because you're good at singing doesn't mean your lifestyle should be what I'm aiming after, or my children should be aiming after.
That's what we've allowed to happen with our children.
Right. And that's society.
That's where the problem is. Michael Jackson, I believe, once said that if you want to see the person's soul, just give them a record of what you want to transform them for, and have them listen to it 5 times, and that's what they'll become.
Wow.
And there was this kid that he did an experiment. Harvard educated kid did an experiment and just listened to NBA YoungBoy for, I think it was like a month. And by the time he was done, all he wanted to do was dress like NBA YoungBoy, sell drugs, do all this shit that he was influenced by listening to his music. And the experiment was to see the power of music. And he noticed how powerful it is to just listen to some words over and over.
Yeah, it's powerful, bro.
You end up wanting to become that, even though you've never experienced that or lived that. Yeah. Right? Like we come from places where we live this and we know the outcome of this, right? But you have kids out here that want to live this hip hop lifestyle, that have never lived in the ghetto or lived in the hood.
And then nobody chooses that.
No, exactly.
And that's what I understand. Like, y'all kids
like
get on my nerves.
It wasn't a choice.
No. If I had a choice between living in the ghetto and living in the burbs,
you damn real
I'm going to the burbs 100% of the time. I'm never going to choose the hood.
So it's mind-blowing how influenced our music, our hip-hop music, how influenced it has been towards a generation of kids, right? Yeah. And kids that know nothing about the lifestyle. They end up wanting to be in the lifestyle, and that's when stuff happens.
The dangerous stuff and this goes down to the glorification of leadership and all other nonsense that happens on TV. You get so caught up in the glitz and glamour of a position or what it entails that you don't even take in consideration of what the downfall of that is. Yeah. Like, one of my mentors told me there is 2 sides. It's called the law of polarity. There's 2 sides to everything. You've never seen a one-sided anything. So if it has a good, it has a bad.
Yes.
So what they don't consider or even take into a consideration is that, there's a bad side to this. There's a downfall to this. But one thing I've learned about, especially us men, it takes us a lot of times for us to bump our heads, and then once we bump our heads, we make it seem like we didn't see the thing that was going to hit our heads on.
Yep.
For example, and I'm gonna go there today because another incident that somebody brought to me today. Another young man decides that he got a new car around my way, and you know what happens when you get a new car? Your coochie rate goes up, right? Women want you now for different reasons because you got a new vehicle, and they might be some kind of whatever they believe in their mind. Mm-hmm. So, like a young man, 27 years old, he plays right into it. Just so happens to be the one he plays into it lives right across the hall from him. So what happened was he got so caught up in them cheeks, and you seen it. Oh, what she do got some cheeks on her. Oh, she hollering at me now. I got this car. I'm about to clap. You didn't consider what's gonna happen after you bust that nut, and what she was gonna be like after she came. What she was gonna be like when she realized that this is just an event and not a relationship. When you bring somebody else over, it's now an issue. Now there's petty behaviors going on. There's notes being left on cars. There's cars being parked in parking spots. There's other individuals being brought into situations to where it could be tense. And you did all of this because you wanted to clap some cheeks. So what he told me today was, I simply told him was, deal with what you created. What you want, sympathy, empathy? You bust that nut, didn't you? You had fun, didn't you? Deal with it. This is what comes with that. And I think that if we start stressing this part, the same way about leadership, if we start stressing to these young men what this actually looks like come take a day in the life with me. Come with me. Come feel what it feels like to have to provide for other souls. And then have to deal with your own emotional well-being.
Oh. Like I was telling, we were talking about the extra time that came from me saying I need to get back on my stuff. I need to start getting on my grind again, because I'm getting too comfortable, and I don't like being in this comfortable space. I'm getting too comfortable. I need to get back on my thing. And she tells me, well, out of everything you're doing, what are you gonna do? You're gonna add extra time to the day, and that's where that conversation came from. Like, yeah, absolutely. Come and sit next to me so that we can see if 16, 17, 18 hours a day is enough, right? Because it's nonstop, and it doesn't stop.
It's about being effective. So it's like Jim Rome said this, and it's one of the most powerful things that I'm using now more than I've used before, is that when you're working, work. Play. It's just that simple. Like, because what happens is you get this other cycle of where while you're working, you playing.
Yep.
I'm chilling right now. I got time. Yep. I got this time to sit back. I'm just go through my phone. I'm gonna scroll.
Not knowing that time keeps going.
Shoot. It's 12 o'clock. I gotta hurry up.
Time equity is going.
Now you lose those hours you played with, right? Now you at home when you're supposed to be playing and relaxing, your mind is on, I didn't get XYZ done. Now you so bogged down with you're there, but you're physically home. Right. So you're frustrated because now your kids want to play with you, but you don't really have the motive to play with them because your mind's like, well, I didn't get that done. And every time that they come to play with you, they take you away from this, and now you're getting frustrated. You're lashing out on them, and the only thing that really happened is you played while you're supposed to be working. Right. And now that you're supposed to be playing, all you're doing is thinking about working. So for myself personally, I've realized when I'm working, you just work. Just give it your all. And do it in 15-minute increments. Because one thing I realized, none of us have unbreakable concentration for more than a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So you got to break your work down in increments. And for me, 15 minutes works. Like, I'm solid for us. I can be zoned in 15 solid minutes without looking up, doing nothing. I've timed myself. That's my threshold. If you have more power to you. I'm working it. But for me, I work at 15-minute increments at a time, and I get so much more accomplished. but it's about managing the time that we have, though. Because honestly, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, anybody that we see of any high business acumen or high elk, whatever you want to call it, they don't have more than 24 hours in a day.
Oh.
They got the same 24 we have. They're just way more efficient with their time. And I challenge anybody out there who says they don't have the time. Count the time, how many shows you watch. Count how many times. As a matter of fact, each one of these iPhones has a screen display.
It's not time management.
No?
Time management is not really a thing. It's energy management.
I can dig that.
Because
you can't manage time.
You can't manage time.
Can't manage
you always have 24 hours.
Right. You can't manage something that's unobtainable. So you're absolutely right.
So what you need to learn how to manage is your energy.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna focus your energy on.
Right.
Are you gonna focus your energy on playing that video game?
Right.
Or are you gonna focus your energy on producing? Or are you gonna focus your energy on what's important?
Right.
Are you gonna set your priorities? Are you gonna set goals?
Yo.
Are you gonna set standards?
My daughter told me that she's working on goods and services.
Okay.
I was like, hold
okay.
up. Business in the house. The goods and services, baby girl. I said,
you know,
okay.
that's the one thing I love about Florida's education.
Yeah.
That they teach the kids financial literacy.
Yes.
They teach the kids financial literacy. Mm-hmm. They teach kids how to write checks. They teach kids about business. They teach kids about assets. They teach kids about financial things that they're going to use on a daily basis.
Right. That's going to help them and help the world move forward.
To me, the first time I heard about that, to me, that was mind-blowing.
Yeah, I told my wife that, I said, yo, my daughter's teacher, she just got a new gift coming her way. Because when my daughter came home today talking about, yeah, Dad, I got to make sure, because she was talking about a lemonade and a donut service. It's like, yeah, I have a service. And I'm like, a service? She's like, yeah, my service provides goods. I was like, yo, where'd you get that? She said, oh, we learned about that in school today. I said, yo, babe, a teacher, yeah, she got a gift coming. Because that's the seeds I want implanted. That's what I want you picking up. What's going to take you forward? What's going to help you? What's going to show you going forward of what you should be doing? What's going to provide for you when my eyes are closed? That's what you should be learning. And I went berserk when I heard that today. So shout out to my daughter's teacher and any other teacher out there that's going against the status quo, right? Because there are teachers that are there for the check. And for y'all, I get it, but I don't respect it. Go find something else to do. Because these are the next generation. If you're doing it for a check, please go find another check. Because our children deserve more. They deserve someone in that space that has a love for their tomorrow. My wife, she literally gets sick when she can't help a child. Teachers like that deserve the utmost. Pay whatever they ask for, they deserve.
Yes, sir. Because
they are creating our tomorrow. They are molding literally, hourly, our tomorrow.
I tell you, bro, I love the teachers from my son and daughter's school. Love. Absolutely love.
Absolutely, man.
Cat Davey, love all you guys.
Shout out Cat Davey, man.
Yeah, because it is amazing the job that they're doing with the kids.
And this is what it's all about, bro. Like, people who want to inspire the lives of tomorrow should be in that position.
Yes.
And they should be cared about. Another thing, my wife put this on my heart, and she did this last year, and I kind of I had a year to stew on it, and I'm going to move forward on it. I'm going to start going around different schools and helping the men out, helping the male teachers out, because they get overlooked. They don't get appreciated, and they deal with a lot, especially the middle school and high school men teachers. They deal with the fast behind little girls that's dealing with all kinds of stuff. And I'm saying to myself, what happens for these men? Like, what kind of events do get put on? What kind of structured events? What kind of appreciation do they have? And each school that I go to, because I'm involved with 3 or 4 schools right now. When I ask the question, it's like I don't know, nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And the men who are teaching, they're struggling because they're providing for their family on nothing.
Yeah.
$50,000 is no money at all, y'all.
Yeah.
$70,000 is no money at all. Because at the end of the day, they're sacrificing their energy, like you said earlier, and they're getting pennies back on it. And then you want them to continue to pour from a cup that's being depleted on both sides.
Yeah.
Because they go home, it's not enough.
Teachers are really undervalued in this country specifically.
And then like it's a shortage of men teachers, but men, I can't tell a young guy that I'm coaching to go to school that wants to set up as a future and be a provider for his family going into life. I can't tell him your direction should be going to teaching, homie. I can't do that. Because legitimately I'm setting that young man up to struggle. Because he's not going to be able to provide on a high enough level for a family of more than two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And legitimately. So we have to do better in getting more money into the schools, and especially into the pockets of the teachers. And if you want more male influence, you got to put more money in there because men can't provide for their families. Women are struggling. If you go right now to your local school and just look at the women, they look depleted, man. They look tired. They burn the candle on two sides. Most women that teach go to school and teach our kids, and they got to go home and deal with theirs.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm so considerate to my wife when she comes home. Do whatever your heart contents. If you want to get in that bed and close the door, go do it. If you want to get on the phone and talk to your cousin for 2 hours, do it. Whatever you need, because you need the space.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, man.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really undervalued. One thing I say about our countries and our islands is that, the teachers might not get paid a lot, but you know what? At least they have the respect of a teacher, right?
Wow.
They're held on this pedestal because they're teachers.
Right.
Right. But here,
no respect.
They get no respect.
No
Teachers
respect.
get no respect. Teachers are not put in that place that they deserve because they go above and beyond. I'm not gonna say all of them, but the majority of them go above and beyond for your kids.
They pour out, bro. Like
for your kids.
Most I watch women give out of their own pocket because the school don't have it, bro.
I have cousins that are teachers, and I see it because they end up devoting their life to these kids. They call them their kids,
and they embody that. Yo, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm like in my first few years when she got into it, and I'm looking at money fly out. Wait, why am I spending extra money on this when we got this in the house? Well, my kids don't have X, Y, Z.
Yes.
And then she began to tell me, because she works in the demographic in which it's an impoverished area, some kids come to school with the same clothes on for 2 years straight, to the point where their shirts are up here.
Listen, I make sure that I embed that in my kids all the time, because the day that I hear one of my kids speaking sideways to a kid because he ain't have enough, I swear to God, that'll be the last day they fucking exist on this earth.
Yeah. No. Like we gotta. That's something you gotta do.
Since they were small, I've tried to always teach them what it is to be appreciative to what it is that you have, and those that don't have, you need to be kind and loving because you don't understand what they're going through in their home.
And if you had to endure it, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't be able to. You don't know what it's like.
Right.
So
you
know
would crumble.
What? When you see a kid being mean in school, instead of you going over there and trying to gang up on him because he's being mean, try and find out why. Show that kid some love, because I bet you anything that's what that kid is missing.
Yeah. And what a lot of our kids, and even we don't understand as adults, is that I'm not saying to say I didn't understand when they leave that school, they leave the most protected place that they have, bro. Like that's really real, y'all. Like there are children that go to school and that's their safe haven, bro. Like right now, your children
afraid to go home.
Your children right now are in their room sleeping peacefully. They know that this is their habitat where nothing happens to them at.
I've had friends growing up that they did not want to go home.
No.
Yo, bro, can I go to your crib?
Word.
Can I go chill with you?
Can you bring me a sandwich to school?
Facts.
Can you bring me extra
sandwich? Some of your lunch?
Word.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And we didn't realize how blessed we were when we looked at our friends that were
Amen
asking
to
us those
that.
questions, bro.
And not even then, bro.
No.
You really didn't understand it then.
Nah.
Because you was kids. They ain't really talking about what they were going through at
Right.
home. But then you grow up and you start picturing everything that transpired during that time.
And you start realizing, like, all the times that you thought you was stunting, they were just really admiring and really wanted to be in your position. Like, every time you was like, yo, I got a new pair of sneakers. Or I got this, that, and the third. And they were just smiling. They were sitting there just trying to deal with it. Word.
Little did you know what was going through him at that point.
And that's the thing, that the lesson that we got to make sure we continuously instilling, because without the respect, without the understanding that, we're blessed, there won't be that empathy. There won't be that understanding of, like, somebody has it worse off than I do. And that's why we have these entitled little brats running around here. Yo, I know we got to go, but I have to talk about this one thing too. It pissed me off, bro.
Oh, this is how he gonna end it. Let me have a drink.
Yo, if you don't want to have kids, if you don't want to take care of kids, keep your legs closed.
Warning.
If you don't want to take care of kids, keep your dick in your pants.
Hey, yo.
I seen 2 stories this past week, bro. And I'm not just going at women, but these were 2 women in the stories. Yo, they went on vacation and left their children.
Left their kids in the house. I seen them shits. I seen that. I definitely seen that, bro.
Yo, it was 2 cases, bro. The first case, the kids were just left behind, and the people found out they didn't have no food. That's what it was. The first case. But the second one, the baby died. It was 18 months old, bro. She went on vacation, bro, and left an 18-month-old baby. The baby died of dehydration.
He started eating his own feces. Yep, I saw that.
You lowlifes.
Just give them to somebody. There's plenty of people out there that have not had the blessing of, and want children, that have fought so hard to have children and are not able to. Just
that
give
baby didn't ask for that, man. The baby didn't ask for nothing. Yo, I don't do this. I don't get this emotional and worked up a lot. But when I'm like this, I don't have no coof. If you out here and you want that kind of shit, everything that comes your way, you deserve it. I hope they put you under the jail. I hope they violate you in jail. I heard Big Bertha get her hands on your stupid ass.
Oh, he said Big Bertha.
Because you deserve that and more. Yo, if you ain't got the time for your children, give them up.
Facts.
And I do you one better. Wear protection. That nut ain't that good. My bad. But that one, me and my wife literally just sat down and was at awe watching that, bro. Yeah. And I had to bring that to the platform because I had to say something about that. How dare you? That's not just your baby. That's God's baby. Whew. I just wish that this platform wasn't governed by certain words I couldn't use, because trust me, I got a plethora of them that I would like to call you. Punk ass Diddy. Yo, man, I had to lighten it up because
he said Big Bertha.
Yeah, nah. I hope Bertha, and all of them get a hold of you.
He said Big Bertha.
And I hope they hungry.
I didn't want to make a joke out of that, bro. I was about to burst. Bro. Big Bertha gonna do you some damage, homie.
I hope so. I hope she hungry too. You hear me? I hope she
Munch.
I hope she ain't 80 years. You know what I mean? Yo,
He
man.
said Big Bertha.
Heavy on the big. You heard me? Heavy on the big. But man, because like I just get fed
What
up,
a
bro.
way to end this bad boy.
I had to, bro. I had to. I apologize for anybody I might have offended or I might have triggered. But at the end of the day, I'm not apologizing because I wanted to. I'm only doing that because it's the right thing to do. But if I did trigger you or I did rile you up, you deserved it. That's how I believe it.
To end it.
That's how I believe it,
What
man.
a way to end it.
Yo, listen, man. As always, we appreciate you guys because you could have been doing anything else for the last hour and 29 minutes, but you decided to rock out with us. So once again, we're asking you before you go. No, wait, Jose. One thing that I do want to start doing.
What?
Because we spoke about life and death being so real, and I had a segment before that I started, but I really want to get back to this.
Okay.
Which is words to our children. Because remember, we're doing this because at some point we're going to close our eyes and they're going to have memorabilia and they're going to have different things of ours that we're going to leave behind naturally. But they'll be able to hear our voices and hear certain things. So what is a message that you want to give to Junior and Celine that they're not prepared for right now, but they'll be prepared for in a few years?
Enjoy life as it comes, guys. Future Celine, future Junior, to the future kids, all kids out there. My nieces, my nephews. Enjoy life as it comes. Always put God before anything, because we live in a really crazy world right now, and I know it's not gonna get any better. And the way is God. That's really as much as I can say right now. Everything I do from the heart with love for you guys. Mm-hmm. So understand that. Yeah.
And Imani, Josiah, future babies, my nieces and my nephews, whenever y'all get here, my sister and brother ain't created y'all yet, but whenever y'all do get here, what I do want y'all to understand is stay in your body and not so much in your head. The world that we're in right now and the pace and space in which we're moving, everything is operating at warp speed. And by the time you get this message, and by the time you're in a space where you understand this message, things might be going 10 times faster. But what I want you to remember is that if you consistently stay in your body, think through your mind, and operate through your spirit, everything that you can possibly think or desire is literally in your grasp. You just have to make sure that you're not living in your head. You're not constantly beating yourself. You're not overthinking. Live and live abundantly. Be who you need to be. Honor God. And always remember, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's all about your mind. The game that we're playing is up here. It's not so much about here. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. And for everybody else out there, do the same thing with yours. Tell your children, talk to them, leave them messages, leave them things that they can hold on to later on in life, because that's your legacy. You dig?
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, as always, good people, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, because like we told you earlier, it don't cost you nothing, but it is digital currency for us and it helps us tremendously. So we greatly appreciate that. And don't have the selfish energy either. Share this with another father out there.
Please.
Share this with another man out there.
Please.
And as a matter of fact, we're going to even change it up a little bit. Share with a woman out there that might be having little issues with a man, that she might not be able to understand him. Because we got some information, some jewels, some things that we might be able to say, help her out as well. So just share the content out there and don't have selfish energy. And guess what? As we always say, and before we get up out of here, fathers to the world, you're just a dad. That's all you are. But to your family, you are their world. Don't get that twisted. Understand that, operate, and live in that. But until next time we see y'all on these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's all right. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this RJD, the imperfect gentleman, and my guy,
Jose, the imperfect husband.
And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be blessed because we will. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Another one,
Daddy.
Yes, sir.
It's another one.
Another one. We're getting good at this shit.
Yeah, wait till we get to 100.
Oh, shit, man.